Honestly, we have not really been seeing a lot. We haven't really been reading chat a lot.
Gabe G memorized surah. Oh, mashallah. Which surah did you memorize?
Did you memorize this story? Do you have one memorized?
I have a few. I have a couple.
Ooh.
Where am I from? I'm from recite Fatiha.
What's that?
They want me to recite the opening chapter. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Thanks for
Alhamdulillahi
coming over,
Rabbil
Gabe.
Alamin. Ar-Rahmanir-Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in. Ihdinas siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladina
Always
an'amta
trilingual.
alayhim ghayril maghdubi alayhim waladdallin. Amin. That was not with tajweed, so forgive me.
Homie's trilingual.
Go Gabe.
W's.
Ameen, mashallah.
So Gabe.
So you memorized one of those surahs in English?
Try it. Let's
Okay,
see. Let's
okay.
see. Well, I hate saying it like it doesn't mean anything. I need to actually say it. In the name of God, the Lord of mercy, the giver of mercy. Praise be to God, Lord of all worlds. The Lord of mercy, the giver of mercy. God, there's one I'm forgetting there. What? Help me out. Master of the day of judgment.
There you go.
What's
Yeah.
next?
I don't know.
Master of the day of judgment. What?
Is you worship,
It is you we worship. Say it with me. I don't
Like,
remember the
yeah,
rest. It is you we
yeah,
worship.
no,
It is you we ask for help.
It is you we worship. It is you we ask for help. Guide us to the straight path.
Guide us to the straight path,
The path of those you have blessed.
the path of those you have blessed,
Not those who incur your wrath.
not those who
Or
incur
who
your
have gone
wrath,
astray. Or who have gone astray.
or who have gone astray.
That's
Yeah.
good though, that's good.
Yeah, dude.
That's
Also,
really
I realized
good.
like sleeping on it. If you want to scooch over, you can get in frame.
Oh, that was incredible.
Dude, the people want to see you.
Oh, nice.
I realized sleeping helps you memorize things. Like, do you play any instruments?
I used to play
Dude,
viola.
if you try, I've played guitar for maybe like 30 hours total, so it's a good amount.
But I mean, dude, that's more than me. So.
Yeah, no, I mean that's good. That's a lot compared to none.
Yeah.
And I realized like maybe like 10 hours. I don't know how much I played. Not that much, but enough to know like one good song.
Mhm.
And there's times I was trying to learn something, and if I slept, I wouldn't get it, and I would sleep. And then the first time I tried the next day, I would do way better than what I was doing. I was stuck.
That's
And
like,
I guarantee you, I'm gonna wake up tomorrow and I'm gonna be like, oh, what was the verse? And then I'll be like, I'll read it again, and I'll be like, oh yeah, and then I bet I'll have it locked in because I read it so many times today. But I haven't slept yet.
right.
Dude, sleeping is proof of God in itself. You literally teleport.
The cousin of death.
You
literally
teleport through time.
Actually, yeah, I've heard about
I mean-
that the way to think about it like that is really cool.
Like if dude, sometimes people fall asleep on a couch and it really makes you realize that you can teleport through time.
It's like, dude, it's been 10 hours.
Like we've been here talking, but someone one time my friend got really, really drunk. And so he slept the whole day. And
Really?
And it was like, I was like, bro, you basically you don't even remember the day. And you were being so funny. Like, you made all of our days. And I was just like, I mean, I had been drinking too, but I was not. Like, I remember it. And it was just crazy thing. Like, he teleported through that. He didn't exist then. And the memories weren't in his head.
Or just
They weren't being
you.
encoded.
He was like kind of remembering when I was saying it. Or not remembering it, but he'd be like, oh. And he was like, yeah, it was fun. I was like, dude, you were being so funny. And I was just like, this is weird. He wasn't there.
Yeah.
But he was. He was like our entertainment.
For the night.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, alcohol makes you like a silly, most immature self, basically.
The
Reverts
lowest
you.
inhibition. Yeah, there's like speaking about like drinking and sleeping, like that relation too, is like there's some like psychology like study where like encoding, so like putting memory into like the long term like memory of your brain is like if you study right before you sleep, and this is a life hack for college too. If you study before sleep, you're more likely to encode that memory into your long term memory. So you're gonna keep
study
it for
before
longer.
you sleep.
Yeah, so if
Dude,
you're ever
yeah,
like,
that's why, like, dude, I'm sorry, but the day before when I take a test, at least for me, every single time, when I study a day before and I fucking cram it, even if I have to stay up all night, dude, I'm on it the next day.
If you study before you sleep.
Yeah, but I take
If
like
you have
a
to
2 hour
sleep, yeah,
sleep.
yeah.
I'm taking like you sleep for 2 hours. Even that little like rest.
it's gonna encode
During the
that-
night, like an all-nighter?
Yeah, but you pull an all-nighter and then you get to school and then you can like sleep in a class that you don't really care about or that's not really it's easy.
Mm.
That's what I used to do.
Yeah.
And then
It's your
I would
brain.
wake up and I'd be like, bro, this test is gonna be easy.
Yeah, that was the hack in high school.
That's what I
study
did.
all night. Don't
Dude,
like.
that's
wake
what
up
I
to
did,
cram.
bro.
Do it
And I
before you
honestly,
go to
looking back, I'm so like, honestly, I understand how I could do that, and I could probably do it again.
If
Like something
W
about
fit.
having it just fresh in your
always
mind.
here.
I fit.
Dude, she really is.
You want to read that?
All it takes control of our soul when you sleep. Sleeping is called brother of death. Your soul can go meet other souls in sleep. So yes, you transport. Yo, that's,
wait.
have you ever read The Alchemist? Wait, didn't you tell me to read The Alchemist?
The Alchemist? No.
Oh,
No, that was Benji.
yeah, no, I know Benji gave it to me. I thought Gabe
I feel
mentioned
like
it.
I've heard of it.
Dude, The Alchemist is like the first. Oh, it's just a novel. It's a great novel, like in terms of like life lessons.
Right.
And it's about he's Muslim. That was like the first thing I've ever consumed.
Oh,
That's
my
the
dad
first
told me
time I've
that,
ever started
yeah.
to like a Muslim person, like
Mhm.
a character. Like I've
Just 'cause,
never
like-
never watched a movie like and been like James Bond or something that was Muslim. Like they're always it's not like
Inshallah, yeah.
so. That was the first time,
The Alchemist. I'll
Yeah.
definitely take a read because I'm pretty sure my dad had been talking about it.
dude. There's so many books to read. It's so hard. There's so many
That's what-
verses to read. Like
yeah.
the chat's like read this book. I'm like, I'm still trying to read the Quran. Like,
No, it's,
Like-
it's insane.
I mean that's the beautiful part of life is you can't read everything. You
Yeah.
can't. You can't do everything. You can't see
Choose what
every,
you
you
want.
can't see everywhere. So you got to make a choice. It's like love. Like
Yeah.
love hurts and feels good is because you have to let some lovers go.
I was thinking about that today about like what makes tragedy, like human tragedy, just in general, so inherently attractive to people. Like we love hearing about stories about like this
Yeah,
this
war.
lost love of like almost
Oh,
this guy
yeah.
was at war and he died
Yeah.
before he could get back to his wife or whatever. Like the inherent. And
I think
it
we
has
like
do
to
with
feel.
love.
I think we like to feel.
We like to feel, and I think we love love, and therefore any expression of it we feel attracted to. We feel
Yeah,
attracted
that's
to.
true.
I feel like
Like you understand.
yeah, exactly. But what
Because
is
deep down you think everyone's in pain deep down?
to an extent?
I mean, life is painful. Getting out of bed is painful.
It's a fight. We gotta be fighting all the
Every
time.
day is a fight. Every second is a fight. Like, don't give in. Have good posture. You know?
Yeah.
Like, it's always a fight.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like Islam is attracted to me. Or one of the reasons I've been
You're
attracted to
attracted
Islam
to
is like, it feels empowering.
Exactly.
It feels like
It gives you that like
a straight
guidance.
path. Like, dude, when I
Yeah.
kept reading that today, I was like, a straight path. It feels like it gives you a straight path.
Like I like that you mentioned the thing
Like,
about
straight. It's all, you can see it all the way down. Okay, that's the end. It's not like curvy and confusing.
yeah.
From what I know. Like every time I'm like taking a step forward, it's like, okay, I know where this is going.
Exactly. Yeah. You have the steps laid out
North
for you.
Star has been right.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like. Can you relate?
Definitely. Like, it's funny because when we take Islam as a whole, and you start getting into the specifics of, okay, now that you're Muslim, how do you live your life, and then you get into those intricate details like you were talking about earlier with like, I shake your hand and I eat with my right hand, so my left hand should be for the dirty
Yeah.
things, right? So it's the same. It's like every single thing. You're never gonna have a question that can't be answered, to some extent, which I think is awesome. And I think that's part of the point of religion, right? Is
There has to be
A
some
guide.
level
we
of
have to
faith.
know how to follow. Yeah,
A
how
guide.
to follow. Yeah, exactly.
Dude, I don't think Christianity offers a clear guide. Or I never felt clearly guided. I felt guided on most things. Most things love solves, which I think is true. But there's like contradictions. Like my dad told me to always stick up for myself,
Mhm.
fight back. But the Bible teaches Jesus says turn the other cheek. So I really was following the advice of the Quran, which says you're allowed to seek. There's nothing wrong with seeking justice. There's nothing wrong.
Right.
If you forgive, it's out of kindness. So it's like that's why I get why it's called reverting
You're going back to your original state.
back to the original
Fifth
belief that
rose,
you're
yeah.
born.
You're
You're
born with
worshiping
that.
like one.
And that's like the entire point. That's even what the Quran says, right? It came as a criterion for the other books, right? So something to judge the other books based on, and it came as a correction. So you don't even like Hamza told you, right? You don't lose Jesus, peace be upon him. You don't lose,
No, he
some
said
like
like
key figures of Christianity.
if anything you gain, right, or something like that.
You gain because you now understand them for who they really were. Like now you really know, because when It's like something I want to mention really quick with Christianity. What you were saying about like you feel guided in most things, but then what happens? You fill the gaps with the aspect of love, and so this even ties into what we were talking about earlier with like, as humans we're attracted to love in any form, and we tend to romanticize it, right? So like with Christianity, it's like when you're looking around and you blink, you don't notice those gaps because your brain likes to fill them in for you. So when you're misguided,
Trip me out.
when you're misguided, you fill in those gaps with whatever you think is the missing key. So like when you're a Christian.
Right, so you're saying like blinking is like misguiding almost? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm just comparing the fact that like whenever you see something, you're not really staring at it for a full minute because you have to blink in the meantime. But your brain, fills in those gaps.
Like
for you.
micro. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So
But that's not deceiving. Like it's
No,
not like you're deceiving yourself.
Yeah,
your brain to an extent is this, it's like the same thing when you see an optical illusion and like there's a part missing, or like when you're reading a sentence, you'll see like in a comment in the YouTube video where it's like you read the sentence wrong and you read that sentence wrong, and you
But
know
is
what
that
I'm
really
saying?
a problem with blinking? I think I actually watched an episode on that.
Brother, you're focusing on the wrong thing. What I'm saying is your brain fills in gaps, and what I'm trying to draw as a comparison is like with Christianity versus Islam. Islam doesn't leave any gaps for you, and then Christianity,
well, I think
in my opinion, leaves
I
those
think
gaps.
Christianity is just. I'm realizing it's just pacifism.
Yeah, a lot of it's pacifist.
So maybe there
Well, it's
isn't.
drawn on
Maybe,
pacifism,
maybe
but-
there isn't. Maybe there isn't gaps. Maybe it's just pacifism, and I don't want to be a pacifist. I'm not a pacifist.
Yeah, I mean, there's
I think
gaps.
violence. I think violence can solve things. Some for specific situations.
Is that the main reason you think that you're not a Christian? Is because of that justice thing?
No, I mean, dude, there's
Is that the
it's
biggest
a board of like.
I'm gonna-
this is one thing that's attractive. Of like becoming. It's almost like a. I feel like today we're told not to defend ourselves, and I think following Islam gives you. It's a religion, which it should be a guide, and you have a backup. Now it feels like I would be able to explain if I fought back, and in the past it feels like I would have had to. I'll always have to be like I was taught in church: God first, others second, you third. Always others before you. Always others before you. So now I've realized like there's things in my life that I've let myself just get run over, like with
Getting walked up.
getting like allowing myself to be a pacifist and not cause any. Maybe that's not a true pacifist though. Maybe Jesus was. I don't know. Maybe. Well,
But also, you were never endangered as a kid, like growing up. I mean, when was like the real sense of danger that you sensed from someone?
throughout my life.
Yeah.
That's a good question. When I was younger, I had a traumatic. Everything is relative. So for me, traumatic. Like on Halloween when I was younger, like me and my friend were trick or treating by ourselves, which we were pretty young,
Right.
little boys, and like these teenagers, like we didn't know how old they were. They like came going on down in a car, like loud music. We were like dark street, and they like came and they opened the car like they were trying to kidnap us. Like they ran at us. And we're
You
little
ran
kids. And we were
away.
like we ran and we did not stop. Like my friend was crying. Like, I was the one being like, dude, stop crying, dude, get over here and shut up. Like we thought. So
Dude, that's nuts.
I guess that's pacifist, but I couldn't have fought back in that situation.
Yeah, I mean,
I've never been in a fight besides shoving, because I've always didn't need to fight. So, so you're saying it's worked? You're saying Jesus is
Well,
past
you have a
time.
very blessed life, we can put it that way, because there's a lot of people who grow up with the exact opposite of what you had.
Yeah, I mean, I
And
played.
that way
I mean,
you
I
are
played a lot of
blessed.
football, like people doing like cheap stuff, and most of the time we'll just like let them, because I was always running with the ball,
Right.
like from a kid. So it's like people would, like shove me way out of bounds, or like a few times, like all the parents would be like livid, like what? Dude, one
Like,
time,
just
one
being
time, this
excessively
guy,
rough.
one time this guy completely pushed me way out of bounds, and I went sliding and hit something metal. I mean, I didn't get hurt, but it looked bad. The parents were like freaking out. So I guess like I would never fight back in those situations. Like I would always just.
Did you always just get up and just walk it off?
I would just keep playing the sport. Like I
So-
wouldn't really return trash talk. I would just play.
Right. I mean, that's what you're there to do.
Because I was
at the
kind
end
of
the
taught
day.
that too. That's what Christians teach. Like just, that's what the cross is.
But didn't that feel freeing? I remember when I went through that.
I think sometimes
in football.
well, sometimes it's good. Well, I think that's why the Quran makes perfect sense. The Quran says there's nothing wrong with seeking justice. Period. Actually, I don't think it says period, but I'm saying the
Yeah, there's
idea,
nothing wrong with justice.
the idea of that period, which I think is completely true.
Then
However,
why
if you
is it-
forgive
then
them,
why
that's
are
one
you,
of the
wait,
greatest
why
things.
Why are you rewarded more for forgiving?
Because
Other than acting on the
I
actions
think the world
of
goes
justice.
better round when people are forgiven for things. However, I think there's things that like
Can I show you something actually?
yeah, like on my computer.
Yeah, it's a video. You might have seen it before.
Share
It's about this.
Feel free, bro. You can.
This
Just type.
Muslim father that his son got killed. I think in gang
wow.
violence.
Did you, even your dad tell you common sense? He never said when you get bullied, let them hurt you like they hurt Jesus. Defense is justice. I think defense is justice. How do you protect women?
Have you seen this before?
Defense with real defense.
This was in
Victim's
Houston.
father forgives
This is in
defendant in
Houston?
emotional.
This was in
course.
Houston. Look,
Okay, play it.
KPR.
What?
One second, I'm gonna edit something.
An
The audio
emotional
sounds good.
courtroom as the victim's father took the stand.
Pause it.
Oh, it was in Kentucky.
Yo, check this. What's this video, Gabe? Explain
It's
real
a
quick.
Muslim father forgives his son's murderer.
Okay.
But we're
here
still
we
gonna
go.
be in the top right.
An emotional courtroom as the victim's father took the stand. His impact statement offering a lesson in forgiveness.
I blame the devil who misguiding you and misleading you to do such a horrible crime. No, I don't blame you. I'm not angry at you at all.
Relford was sentenced to 31 years for his role in the killing of Salahuddin Jitmood. Officials say Relford came up with a plan to rob the pizza delivery driver. Jitmood was stabbed to death at an apartment on Trent Circle in April of 2015.
I forgive you on behalf of Salahuddin and his mother on the act of involving to kill him.
The judge, also overcome with emotion, called for a recess, only to return to another heartfelt statement, this time from the suspect himself.
Just tell them that you do. When I thank you for your forgiveness.
There was only uncontrollable sobbing as Relford and Jitmood's father embraced one another, proving that sometimes kindness does prevail. Covering the news in Lexington, Lindsay Piercy, LEX 18 News.
One thing that
That was crazy. I can't. I was like
reaction.
pretty surprised, and then when I saw the hug, I was like, that was real. That dude
Hugging.
really forgave.
Dude,
him.
one thing is
I
forgiving,
don't know
but
if I
another
would
thing
do
is
that.
hugging.
Did you do that, Gabe? Would you do that? I mean, you don't.
No.
Please state your name.
If someone killed Kurt,
Rodriguez
would you hug?
Williams.
Would you? This is a real example.
Not like everybody else, bro.
If someone,
I ain't got no ill
I
will
feel like I would
against
have
you.
to see them. I'd have to see them.
if someone
The
like,
same
Yeah,
Bible
yeah,
that you
I
I feel
play
like I would
with,
have
bro.
to. I feel like I would have to
Anybody
see
else
them.
said you get on your knees and you pray.
what would
The
change
journey you gotta
what would
hit.
change
I think a lot.
What if seeing them would change it?
I don't
If-
know.
because
Just,
you'd see a human,
dude,
you'd see a
making an
human.
eye contact with
I think
someone.
you'd see a real human. Well, I mean, no, I would still. I don't know. I don't know how I'd react. I've never even been to a.
That's what I'm saying.
funeral.
I would
I've
have
had my
to.
friends murdered.
I feel like in my case, I would have to see the person. I could forgive them, but to hug them like that is crazy.
I think this might make me seem like a very vengeful person, but if someone killed like my mother
Dude,
or
we
something,
just declared. If you believe
Yeah,
that it's fine
exactly.
to have justice.
I just don't want people, to take it as like oh, look at this Muslim said he would, whatever.
No, but that's what's beautiful
I
about
know.
Islam.
That's what I know.
That's
I know.
beautiful.
You're right, mashallah, you're right. Like if someone killed my mother, I would want them dead. Honestly, like because of the I wouldn't want that person out in the world. I wouldn't want people
to create more kids.
to create more chaos in the world. I
Create
wouldn't
more
want
kids. Just no more kids of his.
I mean, their blood.
None.
It's in his blood.
I mean, it's the
Yeah, but
individual
there's like
person,
serial
but,
killers that have kids and they turn out fine.
No.
like I just wouldn't want them out in the world. Point blank period. Because even in the prison, they might kill another guy. They might do whatever. And then I don't want people's money that could go to charity going to keeping these
Oh,
kind of
that's
things alive.
true.
When you could be giving that
it's
money
a-
to people that
it's always
need
a
it.
this or a this. So money that the tax dollars are paying for.
And we also get into political things, but I would just say if that money could go to real
Dude,
like
I think
if
they,
you go
I
to
mean, at a
charity.
certain point there, I think there should just be like death. But the problem is when people, like I learned about this in forensic science. We did a study. We had to pick someone that got wrongly convicted and do a whole study on them. And it made me so aware of like, yo, maybe we shouldn't do the death penalty because these people were on death row. and they proved with DNA evidence that they didn't do it. Like these people were like, that wasn't me. I didn't kill and rape that person. And they get like they spend like 20 years in prison. They give them money afterwards, like $1 million or something.
That's it?
Dude. It's like what?
There's also in Islam. There's
Bro, they should set you up for life after that.
I don't know. It was,
Are you
whatever it
kidding
was,
me?
it was not worth it. I was like, that is not worth it.
And you know what's beautiful about Islam too?
What?
People that falsely accuse, they get the punishment.
Yeah.
So it's not you get off scot free and it's just this person's accused. Like there is just a
Dude, it's
A
not like that.
component of
It doesn't
justice
feel like
for
that in
them.
America.
yeah. Because if we had Sharia, it would be different. But,
Do you think that's
We had
coming
what?
soon
if
though?
we had like Sharia,
do you
if
think
we
that,
had,
do you think that's coming soon?
What?
Like the option to like
coming soon?
No, theater
in
near you.
theaters, yeah.
It's like new idea.
I was gonna say like the fact that a law that's it's probably gonna start in the States, I'm sure, that you can counter sue for defamation. I think you can already do that if a woman. That's just counter suing for defamation.
Dude, yeah, but it's not. But like that law is like eye for eye. If you accuse someone of doing
Oh,
something
okay,
and you
okay.
weren't sure, you shouldn't
I mean,
have
there is-
spoken. It's like back to the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
1600s,
Do you
like when
think-
they would
do-
mark their
okay.
word.
So do you think
Like
that
mark
the
your
US
word.
So do you think the U.S. will upgrade?
Your word needs to be backed up by your own life. Like accusing someone of doing something that they didn't actually do. If they could prove that you just made that up, you deserve the punishment that they would get. That makes perfect sense. That makes logical sense. Don't accuse someone of something serious without being
So
sure.
yeah, exactly. Because even if it is
Because-
true, there's.
But then how do you know you're
Dude,
sure?
like, there's something
you're gonna be
said the other
second.
day.
I feel like you're
Max
gonna be
was
second
telling me-
guessing yourself a lot just because you're scared that if I do report.
But I think
this-
that's the point. Even like the Islam rule, if you commit adultery, there must be 4 witnesses, right?
Yeah, it's like it's not a super like everyone all the time that cheats is getting the punishment of that. It has to be semi-public
But
because you have
I
4
get why
different
it's
witnesses.
semi-public. It's saying don't do it in public. When I read that verse, I was like, that sounded so silly. It was like 4 witnesses. Who the heck has 4 people living in their bedroom? But then I realized, like at the
You have to
movie
be-
theater, for
yeah.
example,
Yeah,
that should be haram. Like
and the thing is too, it's
you're in a public place.
exactly. You can't sin public.
Oh, but that's how you rape. That's when you rape someone.
No.
No,
adultery.
That's an example.
Oh, adultery.
That's an example of if you had a sexual encounter
Right.
in public at a movie theater, for example, and 4 people saw you.
And it's not your wife.
And you're not married.
Yeah, and you're not married.
Yeah.
Wait,
Or
not
if
even.
you're-
Wait, not even not married.
I don't know about that. I know that it's if you're married, then you get a punishment.
Okay.
I don't want to
But
speak on something I don't know
what
about.
I'm saying is the 4 witnesses make sense because it's not like one person could accuse someone and then because they got like 100. It says like 100 slaps. My translation
It's not
says 100 slaps.
But
My trans. Oh,
I'm gonna.
I mean, there wasn't an animation on my
Yeah.
Quran, but
I'm gonna get you. Actually, I have it with me. I'll just give it to you right now.
for real.
This one is my
But
favorite.
Maurice sent me this one. This one. But
This one-
some people are saying that's weird.
The way it.
Do you remember Maurice from?
The stream.
Yeah.
He has Dawa Digest YouTube channel.
The thing with Arabic and English is like it's the same with like Spanish and like English. Not every language translates perfectly into other languages. So this one is, don't get me wrong, it gets the meaning across, but when it comes to specificity, I don't think it's.
So why did he recommend it then? He must believe it's
No, like
specific.
mashallah, I'm sure he had the best intention. Like I would never blame this brother for trying to give you Quran. I'm sure he had the best intention. I just personally think, as someone that is like native born English speaker, and trying to get the specific the specificity of the message, I would say the one.
Dude,
that
it's kind of scary like when I hear that because I'm like reading a verse and I'm like, oh wow, this is touching, and then I look at chat and they'll be like you have a bad version. I'm like, what?
If I say
They might
it's a bad
honestly do
version,
that
it's
with
like
every
one
version,
version.
no? Especially if it's in English.
They're like, oh, this version says like this, but the idea actually was different. Like the opening verse, mine says, and it says as a footnote. It explains in the footnote. It says like, at the end it says those who incur no anger, those who don't get mad. Like, but
Yeah.
it says in the footnote, in this version it's not attributed to God, unlike most versions. Where if God's anger is not incur against you.
I take this one. Look, I'll show you like for the Fatiha, right? And this one even comes with like I don't know if yours.
Oh, I like it. It's small.
It's
I like
yeah. This
having
one
both.
is I can read it on the
It's
bus.
cool too.
I read it outside. Yeah, I'll take you to the Fatiha, right? And whenever we read Quran, We say, I seek refuge with God from Satan the accursed.
No,
but-
wait, what?
So whenever we read Quran, we say, I seek refuge with God from Satan the accursed. So you want God to protect you from Satan trying to mess with you while you're reading the word of God.
Oh, okay, that's beautiful.
So we say, in the name of God, the most compassionate, the most merciful. This is the most common way that I've seen this, the Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, like said. Because in yours it says the Lord of compassion, the Lord of mercy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is the more common, like
In the name
English
of God, the
translation
Lord of mercy, the giver of mercy.
Right. And so, it doesn't translate perfectly into English, but the meaning still gets across.
Yeah.
I would just say, because like the slaps thing, like it's not supposed to be slaps, so I would say this is probably a little more. Yeah, exactly.
Wait, what is it supposed to be? Whip?
Lashings.
Yeah.
Yeah, so with a whip. But this one's a little more. I like this one. The Warner. I don't know if you've seen the Warner on TikTok. He uses this. Our MSA, our local MSA at the
A&M College Station.
the Muslim Student Association, they hand these out for people. It's just really widely accepted.
Wait, what does the Quran say about sex outside of marriage? Do you
Like
know?
fornication.
Hold on.
That's right.
It says don't even come close to. So zina is adultery,
Bro,
right?
don't
And
even.
but you can have 4 wives.
You can have 4 wives if you can be equal to all 4 of them.
What does that mean? And
So,
where does
like-
it say that? It doesn't. Is that a
It does,
hadith?
it does. No,
Does
no,
it
no.
say
It's,
here?
it's, yeah.
Oh, how'd I miss that?
Yeah. Let me see if it's a Nisa. I feel like it's gonna be. Chat. Could you guys give me
The fornication, big no.
the verse about you can only have 4 wives if you treat them all equally?
Big no.
Chapter 4. Okay, yeah, it's in.
Dude, there's the amount of people who know their stuff in here, bro. Chat is like, it's like a breathing chat GPT.
I really want one day to, inshallah, to.
That's
have
what
a full Quran
ChatGPT is
memorized.
gonna become, just like a giant, just chat,
What?
just Twitch chat. ChatGPT.
Is it a
one day.
hadith or a verse? I thought it was a verse.
Dude, imagine if it was like, you just got pranked, none of these viewers are real, you've only been averaging 15 viewers. So
Look,
it was all
here.
AI.
Dude, I don't. wanna
So-
That
know.
wasn't real.
This is in the verse, talking about women. If you fear you might fail to give orphan women their due rights, if you were to marry them, then marry other women of your choice, 2, 3, or 4. But if you are afraid you will fail to maintain justice, then content yourselves with one of those bondwomen in your possession. So, you can have up to 4. If, let's say,
You can find.
You
You,
know-
can love them like.
yeah, you can spend time with them, you
Yeah,
can give
yeah.
them what they ask of you. If you maintain
Wait,
justice
like-
because you wouldn't want,
Wait, is it haram to have like? No, serious question. I don't know what it looks like to have. I've never been around anyone with a male with more than 1 wife. Just
That's
only
not true.
online. Who?
You remember that dude at your lake house that one year? With that one.
True,
girl?
they were swingers. No,
Yeah.
but they weren't married. But I mean, like, how,
Oh,
like
true.
getting
Okay,
married.
okay,
Wait, do you
okay.
have like a singular wedding for each woman?
I mean, you'd have to in order for.
yeah,
people.
you don't buy in bulk. You wouldn't. Put,
buy in
Not buy. I'll start from.
2 for 3, 2 for 3.
That's not what I always make
Check,
that-
check. 2 for 3.
But like you don't you don't join everybody in one. It's because each one you have to have a marriage contract. You have to have for
Grace is just interested in 4 wives, bro.
Well, dude. I mean, that's a big difference.
Well, why you say? Why would you want 4? Why not just 1?
I want many kids, bro. If I can provide, like I'm waiting to.
if you can provide.
I just want, dude. I think if I was just like secure. I mean, I think everybody probably feels this way. If I had a bunch of money, I think I would have kids very soon.
Really?
And like I was like, I want to have kids with this woman. I don't like. I think that having kids is gonna be the greatest thing to do.
Oh yeah.
When I
that's
see a family, I'm like, I want that now. Like,
Right.
I feel like I would just want to hang out with them. Like my younger cousin, I love hanging out with him.
Mhm.
If I could so wish for, I would live with him. And then I'm like, wait, this is probably what I have a kid like, because he reminds me like of myself. He looks like me. I look like him.
Bro, they look like each other's.
What were you gonna say?
Bad.
I just wanted to mention because someone said it in chat that so whenever you get married, your wife can put in like her contract with you.
So
that,
glad we have you here to ask you this.
yeah. And there's certain things that
It's
I
like
don't
real life
I
chat.
don't know. And I would like to ask her. But like when you're marrying a woman, she can say specifically, "I'm not okay with you marrying 4 other people."
And you.
Like she could say that's a make or break for me if you want to marry more than.
I mean,
one
yeah,
wife.
she has the right to say anything.
Exactly. But I just wanted to clarify that
Oh,
so
yeah.
it doesn't seem like I can just. Do
What if at
whatever.
one point one of the wives is like, now I'm not okay with this?
Oh yeah.
ask us questions. When we get into specifics of like
Tell us.
judicial like that kind of thing, then
I mean, at that
So,
point, you
okay,
just
but-
stick it out
But
because
like,
you
is
said
it
you're
is it
married.
is it haram
if you
to?
get divorced, it's really that big of a problem.
Is it haram to like?
But what if
How
it's
do you-
straight up
how
like,
do you-
dude, I do not love this man anymore?
So when you're with one, sorry.
You can
You
divorce
can
if you have a
divorce?
reason to divorce.
Okay, if it's straight up just I don't love you, like
You do that?
anymore.
Because in the Bible, I think it says you're not allowed to. You're committing adultery unless you're by marrying a second person or having sexual relations with a second person.
Outside of the first proof marriage?
Yeah, you're committing adultery. However,
If you
if
marry
they
her.
commit adultery against you, then you're free. Like if they break the contract, you're free.
Oh, wow.
They're all trying to tell us that Maurice Dawood. Oh, Dawood. He wants to speak with you.
Oh, bet.
Who?
I think we might be talking on.
Who's Morris?